Romancing the Dungeon is a softcore D&D podcast about heroes navigating their daily lives while looking for love in a world full of peril, monsters, and heartbreakers. This show is intended for mature audiences, as it contains adult themes, the best kind, but not the softcore thirst. Oh, what's the point? Content warnings for specific episodes can be found in the episode description. So, my bad, but I didn't listen to the last episode. Could somebody catch me up?
You hear the voice, and that verse echoes. The closer you get, the clearer it becomes. This is what is calling you.
How do I get to the Ashen Expanse?
That's in Visage, and he points eastwards. What are you doing here?
I'm making my way to Visage. Who wishes to know?
I am Knight Captain Julius Nightbloom. I'm searching for somebody. Fia Burbage. To bring her to justice.
Whatever that justice looks like, I can only wish you well.
If you're looking to get into Visage, there is an old mine shaft. Safe travels, Master Apprentice. Clodagh, Trepp, Kidana, and Rova. The night air has been incredibly cold, and Kidana, for you, there's something kind of almost welcoming to it. The juxtaposition here in the Ashen Expanse between the scorching heat and the cool breeze that just seems to whisper across the black and red sands. There's a stillness to it that over the years you've kind of come to appreciate. Under one of the two moons of Arcanum, you've led the others towards the township of Sabel. This is where you believe, or at least Rova believes, maybe, possibly, not definitely, but a kind of, that Aster, or at least a Dryad that matches the description of Aster, has wandered to, maybe under duress, possibly kidnapped. Whatever details the Harangan has been able to provide have only led for more questions, Clodagh. What is Aster actually doing out here? Why venture deeper into the desert? Why not look for a way out? Trepp, can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Ooh, that's good for story. 5.
You've been keeping an eye on the rear of the group. Your encounter with that winged monstrosity and the calls you heard as ye took the path north. You've watched the night sky, you've been watching the sands, you don't see sign of anything. And then you feel your sense of balance shift. The sky overhead is this swirling purple, and there are just a thousand stars that just seem to blur as everything swooshes and spins. You can hear Rova protesting that maybe we should take a break. Maybe now's a good time because, we're not there yet, but we're almost there, but we're not there yet. And everything kind of becomes this blur as you fall to one side and a pain shoots up across your right shoulder down into your arm. The rest of you hear this thud into the sand as Trepp hits the ground.
Is he conscious? Like, Clodagh's going to immediately run over to him.
Yeah, he is. His breathing is sharp. Like, he's taking these very, very quick, fast breaths that aren't doing anything to kind of fill his lungs. They're that sort of like rapid.
What is it? What's wrong?
In this state, Trepp's trying to shuffle his like little satchel in the direction of Clodagh and sort of pointing to like items and stuff. He's trying to make it clear that to grab something from his bag.
She'll kind of open the satchel frantically and be like, what am I looking for?
You might recognize in a small little glass jar with a little kind of canvas wrapped top, it is a restorative ointment. And by applying it, you regain hit points. It also helps someone cease to be poisoned and is cured of any disease. But if you open that lid, there's very little left in there. But that's what Trepp is trying to get you to find. And he's sort of motioning to his shoulder.
Okay, here, let me take this off. And she's going to pull at the duster and just be like, why didn't you say something? And as she's like patting the ointment on.
As you're applying this ointment, you get a sense of recognition that the scarring or what's happening is Trepp's skin feels a bit hard, as if it's petrifying. And you recognize that Trepp has been keeping it under wraps, that he has been infected by whatever's going on in the grove, making it all the more urgent, at least in his eyes, to find Aster and get him home.
It isn't just a patch of this petrified skin, Clodagh. It has travelled down Trepp's right arm. You clearly see the sign of this petrified scarring. Where there should be soft, wispy fur, there is now just what it looks like black tree bark. It's stone and scale. You can still see kind of where the muscle is, where the bone is, and give me a medicine check, actually, just to see how much of this you might, or like what's kind of going, what your brain would be picking up as you kind of look at the affliction. This seems to be sort of like an epidermal affliction. The muscle, nerves, everything are still alive underneath. That must be causing excruciating pain. Rova and Kidana, what are ye doing at this point? Because you see Clodagh tending to Trepp.
Well, that looks serious.
If I see his wound, would I recognize it for what it is?
You do. But it's interesting. When people get sick out here in the Ashen Expanse, the skin does blacken like it was rotting. But the petrification, you've never seen this on anything other than Dryads.
What happened to you?
The same thing that's happening to our home.
But this... You saw what everything you saw in the other town. But this is... This... You're not a Dryad. It shouldn't look like this.
I know. I must look a sorry stasis.
No, I mean, the way that this is happening shouldn't be happening to you.
Well, it's not just happening to me. It's happening to everyone from the Grove.
Oh, this is delightfully tragic. Oh my goodness.
Be silent if you're not going to be helpful.
I'm going to use this moment of tragedy and delighting in it to give a bardic inspiration to Trepp.
What does bardic inspiration sound like for Rova?
Bardic inspiration for Rova literally sounds like, come on, Trepp, pick yourself up. It's not time to give up yet. You're only part way wood. It's not dramatic enough yet.
It's like a doomsday pep talk.
So encouraging.
It is absolutely, bardic inspiration is absolutely a doomsday pep talk.
Your death isn't tragic enough. Please stop.
I'm going to give you inspiration for that bardic inspiration. Having been kind of chastised by Kidana and sort of half under your breath at Trepp, you hear kind of a low chuckling kind of in the back of your mind. This is fortunate. This is very good, Rova. Perhaps the young lady will also acquire the affliction. And then when she is petrified, you may simply just take the stones from her.
As long as our stuff doesn't turn into wood as well.
Be careful. Don't just try not to come into physical contact with her. Any of them.
Can I make a medicine check to figure out if this is contagious?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 15.
In your journeys across the desert and into the Ashen Expanse, you have seen people in some of the outposts and low-lying villages afflicted with this waking sort of fever and these dark or almost like bruising on their skin that seems to sort of map through their own vascular system. You've seen kind of various different healers, shrine and temple acolytes kind of tending to them. They're not taking any particular care of touching them, or they're not wearing any masks or gloves to kind of protect themselves. However people catch this, nobody seems to kind of be aware. So you don't know if it's sort of through touch or breathing it in. But if Clodagh has been traveling with Trepp and they come from the same place, she doesn't seem to have it.
But I've not seen healers tend people and then get afflicted by it immediately.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. I'm going to make a deception check against Bale. And I'm going to say, I'm going to sort of withdraw and say, yes, this situation is very dangerous. I'll have to really bide my time and be careful, because if I make one slip, I could end up as a tree as well, and you locked within my woody breast. That is a 25.
The thoughts of once again being sort of lost, and in this case even imprisoned in sort of a petrified Harangan tree, sends a shiver through, and you actually feel the blade shudder on your side. Yes. Tread carefully, most carefully. Bale wishes to see the world. And it retreats into the back of your mind with that little nightmare dwelling in its psyche.
Declan, at this point, will the ointment have sort of seeped in and done its little bit of...
Yes, it's at this stage, it's sort of more of a numbing. The ointment, it's sort of a kind of a grove specialty. It's something that Nana, in her studies, have kind of whipped up. It's kind of commonplace, it's the equivalent of tiger balm, but sort of a cure-all. You have aches and pains, a little bit of the ointment. You broke your knee, a little bit of the ointment. You've a gaping wound on your back, a little bit of the ointment. But it does have that sort of aromatic smell to it that tiger balm kind of does. Kidana, as you kind of, it would say, if you're kind of watching Clodagh kind of apply this, there's some very familiar smells to it, but then there are plants and flowers in this that you've never known before. You can smell the heart moss that grows on the underside of the mountain, the in the hollow spires. You know this, you see it everywhere. There's even the faint smell of the sun petal blooms, but not as heavy, not as perfumey as you know them to be. But then there's whole other things in there that you don't recognize. In the distance, Rova, you do see there are hills, and you can make out very, 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 very faintly on the horizon what looks to be the outskirts of a township or a village. And dawn is about to break. The night sky is shifting from sort of that heavy black, navy blue and purple into that burning sort of auburn and amber sort of seeping up as the sun begins to rise, and the Ashen Expanse begins to illuminate. While it's not warm yet, the heat is beginning to stir. Is there anything anybody else wants to do at this point before we continue on our journey?
I think before we wrap up, just because Rova is incorrigible, he turns to the group and is sort of like, well, I knew I could get you there, and here we are, and sort of gestures to the township in the distance.
It was most kind of you to lead us here, Rova. We're glad for your help.
My pleasure. Always happy to meet new people. Find out what tragic fates await everybody around here.
Someday you should hear the story of my life. I think you'd enjoy it.
Let's rain check it. We'll find a great time for coffee and we can sit down and you can tell me all about it.
That would be nice.
As the four of you continue the trek towards the township of Sabel, we move to the village of Sabel. And Aster, it's only been kind of a day and a half, maybe, that you arrived here. Like, this is sort of as far as the group had agreed to bring you. As you've kind of made your way in, it's very interesting. Your first real kind of encounter with people in Visage was sort of kind of shock and surprise. Nobody bats an eyelid that there's a Dryad walking around Sabel. It's quite a different place. It doesn't quite fit how, like, it doesn't look anything like the Grove, and it's sort of built into and on two hills. And it's not like, oh, there's an upper level and a lower level. No, it's, well, actually, oh, you need the inn. Oh, that's on the other hill. Oh, the shop, actually, that's on that hill, actually, so you have to go back. And it just seems to be one of those things where, in the short time that you've been here, Sabel Coil, actually, because that's its full name, it seems to be one of those places that's sort of built out of necessity, but with no real planning. Like, nobody went, oh, let's build a town out here. It was like as if somebody went, okay, here's a good spot, and then a couple of days later somebody else came along, well, I'll take this spot, and people just happened to just drop tools. There are a couple of people who, when you made your way like into the village, a bit of a wide berth was given to the caravan that you were traveling with. As they kind of continued on and they headed further across the desert, when they were clear of them, an elven gentleman introduced himself. Ambrian Salth is his name. He's a mayoral type figure, like the town's leader. Learning of how far you've traveled from and everything else like that, anything that you would have shared. How much of who Aster is would he share with these people?
I think a surprising amount. He's not very worldly, so he doesn't, it's not that he trusts people. He has his business, they have theirs. If their business is knowing his business, so be it. He would never divulge information about the Grove, however, because that's not his information. That's his family's information. He would say he's from far away. He would say he believes he's originally from here. And he says he's on a great search for a great tree.
In that conversation with Ambrian, he genuinely seemed interested, but also was kind of fishing for who are you, what are you doing here, kind of sussing you out. Mainly seeing the group that you had kind of arrived with. I think learning the fact that Aster is arcane inclined and may know things of healing. Immediately, Ambrian, the conversation ended. There was like, as you were kind of filling him in, he was like, great story. We actually need your help. This is kind of where you have spent the last day or so.
Yeah, I think he's a little hesitant to become the impromptu resident healer, as he finds it a waste of his talents, but he'll do it to ingratiate himself with the locals.
On the taller of the two hills, there is and like you've also learned that the hills are literally known as Petite and Grande. Like, that's it. So like, the inn, that's on Petite. Oh, the shrine, that's on Grande. And you were led to the tall hill, or the big hill. There is it's like a temple, but it's not, it's nothing like you'd imagined. Like, it's not this big ornate building. It seems to be open as well. It's this large sort of open courtyard with like sandstone columns. As you are sort of brought in, there's a young tiefling stooped over a cot, and you can you feel magic emanating from him as he's casting Cure Wounds. There are a couple of people lying in beds, all manner of ages and whatnot. There's no kind of set type of person that's sick. Some very much lost in sleep, others kind of groaning in like agony. And Ambrian kind of turns to you. We have a number of our people currently afflicted. Brother Calmet, and the tiefling turns around. He's this sort of soft purple, almost grayish hue to his skin. Very, very pale horn, just one. The other one is broken, and it's lost in this mound of very messy raven blue hair. He turns and you see he looks exhausted. Around his eyes, it's just deep black. And his eyes, though sort of reddish and amber in color, look very dim. You can see that he seems to be just kind of going through the motions as he sort of half stumbles towards you. Are you afflicted? And he goes to kind of take your hand.
No, I'm not, but I might be able to grant you some assistance.
If you take a cot, and he kind of gestures, he just seems to be kind of going through, like he didn't hear you. Like it's just more like, okay, Ambrian's brought somebody else is sick. Okay, I'll get to them. And then Ambrian just kind of looks at you and him as like, no, Calmet. Aster is here to help. And you can just see, you saw a light in it, like just kind of in his eyes flicker at the idea of somebody else is here to help. And he starts to tell you all about the affliction. It is a blight that has infested the Ashen Expanse for quite a long time, but it seems to be worsening. More people are getting sick faster.
Does Aster recognize this blight?
It looks a bit like the rot in the grove, but like the rot only affected plants and like the land. The plants would blacken, like parts of them would like almost as if they had been bruised. They would seep water as if they were in like a high fever. And you see that a lot of these people, they bear a semblance of this.
I think Aster would like to first begin to ritual cast augury. He will go to Brother Calmet and just say, please take a rest. I have my methods. I must consult. And he's going to kind of plant himself stood in the middle of this room and hold his flower. And he's going to watch as the seed pockets move and glow in their different starry shapes. And I'm going to ask a question, receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. And that plan of action is to heal these people. He's basically asking if he has the power to do so right now. The DM chooses the following possible omens: weal for good, woe for bad, weal and woe for good and bad, and nothing for the results that aren't especially good or bad.
As you get to work, Calmet tells you kind of about these people and what's happening, and you are learning of Sabel and whatnot. All thoughts of the whisper and the song and that giant tree back of your mind. There's people who are sick, there's people who need help, and there is something to be learned here. In that moment, kind of between kind of learning of the malady and talking to Calmet, like in between kind of visiting some of the patients and considering your possibilities and whatnot, you do sort of reach out. As the kind of the flower blooms and you stare down into the iris, you see it wilt. Not just the kind of the light within it and the stars, that kind of the constellations that it almost seems to reflect. The flower itself, Aster, it's dying.
This is the first time his magic has scared him. He's seen omens. He's seen the path. He's seen that he can't save someone before. Like, he's seen that as a result. People in the Grove have died, have passed away in the past, and he's seen that. But this is the first time that he feels truly uneasy, I think, by his foresight. He stops the spell and he looks at all of these people, and his mind immediately goes back to what he was supposed to be doing here. This can't all be a coincidence, like the Grove rot, these people being so close to where I need to get to. This great home of mine must be sick. And I think the solution to this is to heal that and to find a way to cure that and heal that. He kind of wakes from his divination and turns to Brother Calmet. And I'm assuming this is like the day before, like this is like
Yes.
my first day here. So I think he will keep his face very stern and very stoic and not say much about what he saw. So he's going to cast Aura Vitality, and every couple of seconds is going to be healing people, like everybody around him. He's just going to be like granting little bits of healing here and there. He's going to be casting Lesser Restoration as much as he can for the day.
Give me an Arcana check.
Dirty 20. Or sorry, 19. Apologies.
As you kind of return to helping and return to kind of trying to ease some of the pain, some of the suffering, and kind of bring people back, you reach out to your magic, and like it's that thing of like you can feel it coming from Calmet, like as he's saying prayers over people and he's casting this energy out into them. Now that you do the same thing, you feel your magic well up around you. You feel the magic, you pull on it, you connect to it. But you also feel as if some of it is being siphoned away or flowing away from you, as if it's being taken from you. And it's there, like the spell connects, you touch the magic, but it's like it's a vapor at the end, or like it evaporates in a way that it's never done before, as if something was draining it. That is yet another question, Aster. As kind of the afternoon rolls into the evening and you see Calmet in a small little hut in the courtyard take to prayer and then take to rest. He didn't even excuse himself. The young man just seems to have kind of collapsed under exhaustion. You spend the evening tending to some of the others. Eventually, you're joined once again by Ambrian, who's kind of brought you food and drink and like some clothes and stuff like that, just to kind of as a thank you almost. And with him, though, another person has been brought, another villager, a young half-orc man. He is also unwell. Evening rolls into night, and the following morning, as you rise from your trance, your rest, you see Calmet is back at work, praying over the sick and the injured and the afflicted.
Is there somewhere to have coffee here? Do these people have coffee?
Yes. So, just for flavor, just so, because I this is a thing that established in season 2 of Romancing the Dungeon that I really want to bring up. Coffee in this world in Galeshire is known as go-go juice, and it comes from go-go beans. They do not call it go-go juice. So when you say go-go to Calmet, he's like, huh? And then
and then I explain what the beverage does, and he goes like, it's this.
Lesumes. That's just for me. I need to put that out.
Lesumes.
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 Declan, here, do they use a Visagian press?
Yes,
to
I do.
brew it?
Yeah.
Ooh, delicious.
They
I love
really,
it. I
really
love
do.
Visagian
Yeah.
press.
Like, there's an art, like, where in Galeshire, it's like, just, grab a couple of beans, grind it, and throw some hot water over it, like, and you get this really sort of pungent muck.
Instant cocoa. I do think Aster has a process though, like for his own cocoa beans. Himself and Ambrose are a little bit snobby.
Well, no, Aster's snobby. Ambrose just pretends to be, so that Aster doesn't tell him all about it again.
Poor Ambrose is not snobby. Poor Ambrose has to know the information about it, or else he'll get a lecture on where the beans come from and what the soil was like and what the weather was like at the time when they grew. He's like an annoying sommelier.
As you make your way down from Big Hill to Little Hill, people of Sabel are, they're bidding you good day, they're good morning. A lot of people are coming up to say thank you. Ambrine has been kind of telling them about you. A couple of people have actually kind of go to embrace you. They thank you for taking care of their sister, for taking care of their father, for taking care of their friend. It's sort of there's a road down the hill and then kind of immediately up onto Petite. You do see that sort of nestled between the two, that there is sort of a little kind of market square, and there's a road off from it, and there's a small sort of, it's just a couple of rocks standing on top of each other, and that has like signs for, the Western Farms, the Purple Caves. Aster, you have this small crowd of people all around you, like not blocking you, not stopping you, but kind of gathering to take you in, to say hello, to say thank you. And some people have kind of gathered here because there's a well. And you do see quite a few market stalls, bigger than the market square in the Grove. What separates them not only is the size, but in the Grove, every stall was manned. Every stall was populated. A lot of the stalls here are empty. If there's 15 stalls, only 6 are currently open. One in particular has some very old kind of dried dead flowers.
I think he would sadly walk up to those.
As you move through the crowd, in the distance, Clodagh, Trepp, Rova and Kidana. You can see sort of that northern road kind of winding around a little hill, and you can hear people, you can hear the sounds of people. Kidana, this isn't your first visit to the town of Sabel. You're rounding the road kind of into that market square. Kidana, you literally see walking towards you another Dryad. And Rova, you recognize the pompous arse. He looks completely different to Kidana, but yeah, he's carrying himself with all the airs and grace of somebody who knows it all. And for Clodagh and Trepp, you see Aster. You see your teacher and friend.
Immediately. Oh, there's that pompous ass. I told you I would find him. Just out loud.
Aster doesn't even pay attention and immediately begins to walk and kind of, which is very unusual for Aster, begins to run a little bit. And immediately he just embraces the two in a huge hug, which is very unusual for Aster. He's not a very emotional person. Everything is logic. Everything is like whatever, but he immediately runs to embrace them.
Clodagh will be sobbing.
Miss Meadowmoon, you are very far from home. Trepp, you won't find many rivers here, my child.
We're not looking for rivers. We're looking for you. And it's great to see you, Aster.
Likewise, though I wish you wouldn't be so foolish as to come find me.
We didn't know whether you'd been kidnapped. And she casts a glance back at Rova. Or went voluntarily.
Kidnapped? You think people could take me so easily?
Well...
You underestimate your teacher, Miss Meadowmoon. Excuse my rudeness. Your present company, Aster Pentis, teacher of the Grove.
Rova Cairn, poet extraordinaire.
There's a moment, Aster, when you see Kidana, somebody who looks like you.
And yourself?
Kidana. Protector.
And what is it we protect?
Specifically? Us.
It's good to see that someone is doing it. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
Please, I was on my way to grab a coffee. I was on my way to grab some go-go. I believe they call it legumes here. Join me.
I have heard excellent things about legumes in this region, so delighted. We've been traveling all night to find you.
That is concerning, but I am appreciative. Please, let's get you off your feet. You all look awful. And he immediately turns and guides the group towards where the inn that he was told about.
How rude.
I mean, you probably do.
Yeah. Just on the way there, for like expediency, Clodagh will kind of fill him in on what happened in Galeshire with
the cake.
Yeah. In case he doesn't know, I don't know if word has got out to here yet.
I had heard tell. Apparently there's some sort of king killer about. Sounds dangerous. I hope you're not mixed up with that kind of nonsense.
Well, it's a long story, but she didn't do it.
You always surprise me, Clodagh, when you come back.
Kidana, as everyone's heading up kind of Little Hill towards the Crooked Cistern, a good few people are coming up to wish you well, to say how lovely it is to see you again, and many do offer you collections of flowers and seeds and things that they have kind of come by, many of which you already have. Like there's nothing new kind of in the mix. Like it's custom, and you don't know why it started. Whenever you come to Sabel, people that you knew when they were children, when they were babes, still come up to you now as much older, almost towards the end of their lives, you know, still putting a flower in your hand or still offering you some seeds. And it's one of those things that like a small gaggle of people are trailing kind of behind you all as you head towards the Crooked Cistern. And it's immediately obvious. Kidana, you know why, but it's immediately obvious to all four of you who've never been here before. It's called Crooked Cistern because the foundations of it have sloped. Part of it has sank, and you can even see where like beams, like these, where they got these huge wooden beams from, you don't know. But even some of those are now sort of drooping to one side. You hear a lot of shouting coming from like the back of the building. God damn it. And there's kind of something jangling. Okay, no, I'll get it repaired tomorrow. Filtering down outside the inn and tavern, you all smell what is the deep aroma of coffee. Almost sort of like sweet, like raisin or currant. It's not kind of what you know, Clodagh and Trepp, of go-go juice. Like that just smells like tar and thick tar. It just smells like thick tar. Wet, thick tar. Syrup, some say. Gravy, yeah, like very thick, like
Bean gravy.
Yeah, like 3 tablespoons too much corn flour gone into this. Sludge. Yeah.
If you can imagine the visible like smell line and the little Harangon like bunny character, like almost in air, like
yeah, and like, there is that sort of for 3 of you anyway, Rova, Trepp, and Clodagh, there is that sort of that empty kind of pit in your stomach of like the hunger. You step inside and you see that happenstance and foundations, the Crooked Cistern, there's 2 levels to it. There's the level that you've walked in on, and then there's an immediate step down, and the bar slopes And behind the bar, kind of coming around kind of a small door out of a kitchen, you see a human woman, probably in her late 50s, maybe early 60s, black hair, but with just these wisps and tangles of like grey and like kind of almost like she's like a faint blue, like she's dyed it, and it's now sort of running out of the color. Large kind of gold earrings, her hair tied up in a bandana or cap. She wears sort of a very, very loose blouse that is sort of wrapped at the waist by a kind of a deep red and gold sash, long billowy pants and soft shoes. And seeing you, Kidana, she kind of like, she fixes a look on you. We have discussed this, Mademoiselle Kidana. You are bowed.
What did you do?
All I tried to do was raise the foundation just a smidge, so I could fit.
As you say this, like you just see that this kind of this grin form on her face. It has been too long, my friend, and she just comes swooping out from behind the bar, and she just wraps her arms around you. In my mind, just for anyone that's like trying to kind of get a better picture of her, she looks a bit like Katie Segal. Like that's kind of
beautiful.
Just by the way, with Peggy's like jet black heavy eyeliner, like it's pure like that.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay. A choice.
And yeah, it's like she's way smaller than you, Kidana. But like she does like you see her kind of lean back, almost try and lift you up a little bit.
Amazing. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely return the embrace and just chuckle.
Oh, I see. Oh, Kidana, you minx. And she kind of gives you an elbow, and then she kind of gives eyes over at Aster. Oh, has the wayward wanderer finally found her match? Ugh.
Well, I only just found him moments ago, so...
Oh, love destined to bloom here in the crooked cistern. I have a dress. Oh, there will be wedding yet. And she starts to clap. And drinks. We must have drinks.
Ooh.
And she goes behind the bar and she just starts pulling glasses and bottles down.
I think Rova sort of like gets into the mood or tries to get into the mood and just laughs and yes, sweet love at the end of all things, love doomed to fail at the end of the world, drinks all around. Let's enjoy party while we still can.
She just stops. Who are you?
Rova Cairn, poet.
A bard. We have a policy here at the Crooked Cistern. No performances, no music, no poetry, no spoken word, no performances at all. Kidana, and just for the record, you know this woman, her name is Vi Dorn. And like that, she fixes like a sharp look on you, Rova, sort of like looking you up and down, and then sees Clodagh. Ugh. 2 birds in one day. It is an ill omen. Kidana, the wedding, it will not go well.
It was not my intention to bring 2 of them across your doorstep. It was just sort of an unfortunate event. This one tried to get himself killed, and this one appeared out of thin air.
That's birds for you. They appear, and then poof, disappear, leaving a trail of disaster and a broken heart. And you see she kind of looks off into the distance.
Some story here.
Yeah, I'm still some history.
Roll for history.
Excuse me. Is it possible that we could perhaps get some food and perhaps some legumes? I believe you call it in this region.
You cannot be drinking legumes at a time like this. You are the groom. You are supposed to champagne. I have a bottle.
It's too early.
She goes under the counter and she takes out this, like, one of those oversized bottles of champagne that there's about 6 inches of dust on it. She pops the cork. She's pouring it into cups. She's pouring it into bowls. She takes a big Yeah.
You know what? Aster will take a cup, smell it, and then like taste it a little bit. He's tasting, because he's like, the coffee, like beverages are not for the taste and enjoyment for Aster. He wants to know where the grapes are from, what conditions this grew in. That's his immediate process.
Give me a nature roll.
Yeah. Ooh, 26.
You've never tasted anything like this at all. Like, ever. You don't know where this has come from, but you do know that there's a rigidity to the grape that grew this. Like, it's hardy, it's sharp, it's acidic. It, like, the drink itself, it's got quite it's a very crisp taste to it. And as you do take a mouthful and you swallow it, it still feels cold.
Interesting. He just puts the cup down.
I'm going to hop up like to the bar and sort of like lean on the bar and say, Madame of incurable beauty, how's your espresso martini?
She goes from like half toasting Kidana and watching as Aster takes a mouthful of the champagne, waiting to see, does he kind of appreciate the vintage of the drink? And then she just kind of looks, like, her eyes, like she's leaning kind of one arm on the edge of the bar, and she kind of just turns and looks at you, and like her upper lip curls, and you kind of see the mole that she's kind of drawn on kind of crinkles a little bit. We don't do those here.
Pity.
I think if she does see, she's looking for that look of appreciation from Aster. She definitely sees like him mulling it over, appreciating it, still taking a couple sips and whatnot.
And like she makes a toast. I wish you 1,000 years of happiness in your new marital bliss. Oh, he's so handsome. Look at him.
He's very strapping. However, it's not. We're not. I tried to stop you. We're not getting married.
I don't think Clodagh's ever seen Aster blush. And like there is like a deep ashen sort of like flush in, because he's white. He's a completely like stark white tree. There's like this like ashen sort of like hue kind of like coming over his face as Kidana says he's quite strapping, and he's just kind of like, oh goodness, this is very awkward now.
What did I pop the champagne for? Put that back. Everybody put it back. Put it back. And she's just taking kind of the cups and the bowls off of everybody. She's trying to pour it back into the bottle. Where's the cork? She's looking for the cork.
No, my champagne.
In the background of the scene, Trepp's been trying to grab Aster's attention. The first time he slipped on the crooked floor. The second time he got hit in the face with the cork. He gets like bashed away by Vidor, and she's grabbing glasses, and he's now just sitting on his little rump in the corner.
Oh no. I have a pretty high passive perception. Do I notice Trepp trying to get my attention at some point?
Yeah, so let me take the scene for 2 seconds. So like as Vi kind of starts to like reclaim the champagne and put it back in the bottle, she just yanks it out of your hands, Rova, and she's pouring it back into the bottle. She's jabbing like the cork into it. You said legumes and some food. Okay, I'll get legumes and some food. Nothing too fancy, because obviously there's no wedding now. My heart has been broken again. And she vanishes, and you hear just this. She is cursing in Visagian, but she keeps saying Bjorn. She keeps just saying Bjorn, 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 and a lot of like you're a pig, you're a goat, you're a pig goat. And again, she comes out and she brings coffee and she brings dried fruits, things like dates. She flits in and out, and you see others from the village kind of are popping in and out and kind of getting food for the day or getting their lunch for the day. And she's kind of leaving you to your devices set round the table.
I have been hearing a song. It has guided me here. I'm very good with direction, always have been, always will be. It's part of my nature.
La-di-da.
I've been guided by something else this time, a voice. It has been calling, saying things to me. I just hope that the solution is there. That's all I can hope for.
If I could take you from your friends for just a few moments, would you walk with me?
Of course.
Knowing this is a sensitive matter, Kidana doesn't want to just announce to the table what is going on here. And there's no sneaking around the townspeople, but once they're a good distance away from the crooked cistern. So you've been hearing a song.
And that is where we'll leave today's recording. You've been listening to Romancing the Dungeon with Eilish, Ben, Jacob, and Ashton. I'm Declan, and I've been your Dungeon Master. Podcast title card artwork is by Dahi C Designs. Our theme song, Fight for Each Other, is by Stephen Tynan and Abby Soiree. Oh, Season 3 is the season of split narratives, isn't it? It's a lot of fun getting to listen back to it and just seeing... I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's because I wrote this, but seeing these little threads start to become a little bit more clear, become a little bit more obvious. I don't know, maybe I'm deluding myself, maybe you're sitting there scratching your head at the end of the episode. I don't know, I hope not. If you want to talk about the show, if you want to talk about writing a campaign, if you want to tell me how to do it better, why not check us out on social media, visit our Discord community. You'll find links to those in the episode description. You can just look for D8 Dungeon on all social media. That's where you'll find us. If you are listening to this and you're right towards the end and you liked it, maybe you could leave us a thumbs up, a short little review, share the episode to your own social media feed, and tag D8 Dungeon. We'd love to know who's listening, and we'd love to know what you think. Okay, I'm leaving it there for another 2 weeks. Until then, take care.
Trepp does a tiny flex. He's like, I might have been working out since the fight with the Heart Eater.
Clodagh is going to do it like a fake swoon.
Rova, how does it feel third wheeling this?
I think Rova, like when Trepp does this little flex, Rova takes Trepp's arm and is like, oh, put that away, you're making me sad, please.